There are 3 stages of love here. The first stage is that you tolerate it. Now, when you tolerate something, it means that you allow the persistence of that thing. You might not necessarily like it, but you just allow it. So the first stage is that you allow it. You might not like it, but you justify it. In that first stage, you say to yourself, it's not that bad. It's like a room that is smelling. You don't necessarily, but it's okay. Yeah, you allow it. That's the first phase. You are in a relationship that is abusive. And guess what? The first time the man lifted up his hand, you allowed it. You tolerated it. You justified it. In the first level, you are the one making excuses for that particular one. So we make excuses for our leaders, we make excuses for our partners, we make excuses. That's level number 1. Level number 1 is that level where you make excuses for people. Level number 2 is that you make excuses so much to the point that you become what? Comfortable with it. So in level number 2, you're no longer making excuses. In level number 2, you don't even see that it is wrong. Others will say, but why is it like that? For you, you're so used to it that you don't even see it that is wrong. You know, there's something about the process of accommodation, the eyes, the nose, and the rest, is that if you enter a dark environment for the first time, you will struggle and grapple to try to find your way. But if you remain in a dark environment, what happens is that your eyes becomes what? Used to that darkness, and you can find your way around that darkness. Your nose becomes used to the smell that you no longer perceive the smell. It's somebody else who comes into that environment that will say, hey, this place is smelling, or this place is dark. You're used to it. So in level number 2 now, you are comfortable with it. You see nothing wrong. You don't see what they are doing. You don't see it as wrong. You see them breaking people's houses to go and take, you don't see anything wrong. In level number 2 is that you're comfortable with it. And level number 3 now is that you move from the level of tolerance to the level of comfort. In level number 3 is that now you are deeply in love with it. You enjoy it. Your brain has been wired to derive pleasure from negative things. So the first time you go to work late, you understand to work is tolerance. You tolerate it. It's okay. It was an excuse. After a while, when you keep going to work late, you get what? Comfortable with going to work late. Then before you know it, it becomes something that you just enjoy. You don't even see reason why people should come to work early any longer. And at that point, you are now in love with lateness. You are now in love with lateness. That when people are talking to you, why are you coming to work late? You get offended. It's my life. Who are you to talk to me that way? At that particular point, you are in love with your bondage. You derive pleasure from doing those things. And there's not much God can do. When you see yourself doing things that are wrong and your conscience doesn't feel it any longer, you're in your level number 3.